I, Justin P.J. Trudeau, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Prime Minister. Not many of them, but intolerant or think, oh yeah, no, go back to your own country. Well, no, you chose this country. This is your country more than it is for others.
While other countries are prosecuting citizens who went abroad to fight for ISIS, Trudeau believes some returning home to Canada can still be rehabilitated.
There's a range of experiences when people come home, and we know that actually someone who has engaged and turned away from that hateful ideology can be an extraordinarily powerful voice.
Death to Canada! Death to the United States! And death to Israel!
By 2060, Muslims will be the biggest religious group the world over. What are you going to do then? Actually, to oppose Sharia is even then?
This is our country. We are owner of Canada. You go back to Europe. You are not Canadian. We are Canadian. This is our country. You are invaders. Go back. You white people, go back to your Europe. Go back to your England. We are owner of this country, you white people. This is our country.
Number of gangland people, number of people with organized crime links from Punjab have been made welcome in Canada. We have been telling Canada, saying, look, these are wanted criminals from India. You have given them visas. They have come, many of them, in false documentation. And yet you allow them to live there.
No, I'm doing this because this is what I feel about this country. Israel deserves this treatment. Yeah. This is how much respect the country deserves. I'm expressing myself. I'm using my rights. If you have to arrest me for that, arrest me. What I'm going to keep doing is talking to you that that's what it's inciting. It's not incitement. This is called freedom of expression. Okay. This is how I feel about this country, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Free, free Palestine!
Having a Palestinian flag is not in itself something that is unacceptable. No, I will always call out unacceptable rhetoric and hateful language wherever I see it.
Israel! Burn, burn!
That is the legacy of colonialism in Canada.
Acts of vandalism and arson are being seen across the country, including against Catholic churches. One of my reflections is I understand the anger that's out there against institutions like the Catholic Church. It is real and it is fully understandable.
They want me to turn it inside out. They want me to take my shirt off.
Oh, come on, guys.
Instead of just going to my car and going home.
Guys, until you know that's illegal.
Why don't you just go?
There's no law that says that.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
He left. No one told him they can't come back. Otherwise, he would have said, "Okay, I understand."
Okay, I'll just ask this. Just so. Sorry, it's the person who said that.
Jihad.
Why do you think it's okay to give 10.5 million to a person that killed a soldier?
Okay. That's a great question. Let any future government of any political stripe violate fundamental rights of Canadians because it's a popular thing to do.
If you have to worry about what you say and think in public, is this Canada? We are close, I have said, and this is my opinion, that we are not only on the threshold of a police state, we've crossed that threshold.
Come on through. What is happening here? Wow, what is this lady doing? Trampling. Trampling horses. Trampling. Stop it. Stop it. Look.
Of tear gas, and he actually shoot me directly in my leg.
Shame on these police. Look at what they started now.
But I want you to know We are all in this together. The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views. But Nazi symbolism, racist imagery, and desecration of war memorials are not. It is an insult to memory and truth. Hate can never be the answer. Over the past few days, Canadians were shocked and frankly disgusted by the behavior displayed by some people protesting in our nation's capital. I want to be very clear. We are not intimidated by those who hurl insults and abuse at small business workers and steal food from the homeless. We won't give in to those who fly racist flags. We won't cave to those who engage in vandalism. No, I will always call out unacceptable rhetoric and hateful language wherever I see it. When governments violate Canadians' fundamental rights, there have to be consequences. After speaking with opposition leaders, the federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act,
authorizing Canadian financial institutions to temporarily cease providing financial services where the institution suspects that an account is being used to further the illegal blockades and occupations. This order covers both personal and corporate accounts.
I'm sure many of you are anxious, but I want you to know we are all in this together. Reflection, we have to have both the kind of country we want to be.
Why are you pushing me? You're under arrest for assault.
Attack politics, divisive politics, negative, stirring up of hate and fear and differences. The dirty secret is they work.
You guys get the fuck. You're swearing now.
Split us apart instead of bringing us together.
You've been trespassed. Why? Show me the trespass. Walk off the
Was he trespassed now or before?
Walk off the hill. Show me the trespass.
When? Excuse me, get your hands off me. I'm gone.
I'm going to ask you to leave.
I'm on public property on the sidewalk. Quit pushing me.
Sir, you're in my bubble right now.
No, you just, excuse me, you're in my bubble. You just advanced on me, man.
And if there isn't clear condemnation of the kind of cowardly bullying we've seen, and to understand that the tone of our democracy, the tone of our political debates is set by those politicians who get sent to Ottawa to represent their communities.
I'm being arrested because I'm standing on the sidewalk in my city.
This is Justin Trudeau's Canada. Did Don Cherry warn us about this 5 years ago?
A post online in which you are making statements about Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
This is just some information about peaceful protests. That's all it is.
Okay, so you saw something on my Facebook?
No, on the Facebook group.
So the Ontario Provincial Police are watching what people are doing on Facebook in different groups, whether or not they're commenting, participating, liking, and you guys are now doing service calls to give people information about peaceful protests.
Yeah, it's just a proactive measure to make sure you understand your rights about peaceful protests.
As I mentioned, CSIS came to my house while I was making dinner for my child and tried to speak with me, but did so in a way that I was not comfortable with. And I have also, quite frankly, experienced quite a bit of harassment and stalking from them. When I told them I did not want to speak, they called me dozens and dozens of times. They found my gym. They told me that if I did not essentially become an informant for them, that I love being a mother, I love my child, and I would love to see him grow up and be there to provide for him, and it would be a shame if something happened to me.
I just got
brutally assaulted by Trudeau's RCMP guys.
I ain't want to assault. You cannot touch me. You move aside.
They smashed my face into a wooden wall.
Canadians are watching very closely. Obviously, everyone in China should be allowed to express themselves, should be allowed to share their perspectives and indeed protest.
By the time I left in December of 2021, I no longer recognized the CBC. Changed so quick that it left me spinning, and we betrayed the public. We broke their trust. And we had been riding on a reputation of excellence for years, and now we were quickly shutting down one side of the debate. And how were we doing that? We branded the doctors and the experts the CBC chose, that we used in our stories. We branded them as competent and trustworthy, and those who questioned and challenged the narrative were portrayed as dangerous and spreading disinformation.
Misinformation and disinformation is carrying people to believe things that are untrue.
I had solid contacts in the community. I had people calling me with stories, and these stories weren't being told. Some of those were from the vaccine injured. Some were from people who had lost their job because of their vaccination status. Those whose families had been blown apart and they'd been ostracized. So I had witnessed in a very short time the collapse of journalism, news gathering, investigative reporting, and the way I saw it is that we were in fact pushing propaganda. Definition of propaganda: as manipulative persuasion in the service of an agenda.
And calling the unvaccinated racist and misogynist. And we have heard testimony in this inquiry about how some of your officials wanted to label protesters as terrorists. Would you agree with me that one of the most important roles of a Prime Minister is to unite Canadians and not divide them by engaging in name-calling?
I did not call people who were unvaccinated names.
Opposés à la vaccination,
qui sont extrémistes,
qui croient pas dans la science, qui sont souvent misogynes, souvent racistes.
It is a time to pull people together while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated.
If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train besides vaccinated people and put them at risk.
While not forcing anyone to get vaccinated,
we have made the decision that federal public servants need to be fully vaccinated. That is something that we're also applying to everyone who gets on a plane or a train in the coming months.
While not forcing anyone to get vaccinated.
The anti-vaxxers, they're wrong. Vaccination passports so that everyone can be safe. And what's more, the federal government has announced we're going to pay for the development of those privileges.
I can't back down from standing up for Canadians. I won't back down from standing up for Canadians while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated. Make sure the people who choose not to get vaccinated don't get to get on a plane or a train, don't get to work in the public service, don't get by working with the provinces on vaccine certifications and mandates, don't get to go to movie theaters or gyms or restaurants and other non-essential services.
And if there isn't clear condemnation of the kind of cowardly bullying we've seen, of the kind of hate-filled rants.
The protests needed to be addressed, but the government also had an obligation to comply with the law and use emergency powers as a truly last resort. That was not the case, and it is our opinion that their actions were unlawful and unconstitutional. We are going into the Commission with an open mind, but in our view, the government has yet to prove that the legal threshold to invoke the Act was met, and the burden is on them, not the other way around.
Attack politics, divisive politics, negative, stirring up of hate and fear and differences. The dirty secret is they work.
One of the things that comes with knowing that you're on a countdown clock to your last day means you get to be really ruthless about the things you want to do and the things that you don't want to do.
I would fear the Conservatives because they come with principle that
not someone they can brainwash. But the left, I know they have no values and no principles to begin with.